The doors to the Viridian Tea House are open once more. Hello everyone and happy Friday. I hope y'all had a really good and safe 4th of July. Ours was very quiet. I watched some really good movies and I watched Jaws, which is my 4th of July movie. Did some knitting, played some video games, and enjoyed some really good food. So again, I hope you had a wonderful 4th of July. All right, so in terms of news, so this weekend I will be a vendor at, once again, Mutiny Market, this time on Saturday. The hours are from 11 to 5, and we are right outside of the Mutiny Information Cafe. It is one of the best and coolest events I've ever done in my life. It really is a lot of fun. I never know who I'm going to talk with, any kind of conversations. All kinds of stuff is sold there. So if you're going to be in Denver this weekend, please stop by the Mutiny Market at Mutiny Information Cafe in Denver from 11 to 5. And also on Sunday, I have to make sure I get the name right. Sunday, I will be in Golden once again for the Outpost Country Market. The hours are always from 9 to 2, and the address is 17695 South Golden Road at the Outpost. So if you live in Golden or if you're familiar with it and you know where the Outpost is, just come on by. It's from 9 to 2, and it's always a lot of fun. So many thanks to Amanda for putting it together. I always look forward to it. Right, so today's video is all things British. Didn't plan on it, but when I looked at everything, I thought, you know, there's a theme. All right, cool. And I just want to get this out of the way. Everything that I'm going to talk about today does receive 5 pots of British breakfast tea. So everything that I'm about to talk about, I was either dying with laughter or scratching my head or going, whoa, that's, oh my God, or a combination of all that. So anyway, let's begin. Let's see. So the first, there's a little short story behind this. I'm a late bloomer to this particular character, but I've always known about this character, but I just never really got into him. And I don't know what it was, but I just started getting into this character and reading the books, and there are movies out, and I cannot wait to see the movies. Who am I talking about? A Bear Called Paddington. I love this book. I laughed so much through this book. I love Madeline. Madeline was one of my childhood favorites, along with some others, Curious George. Paddington, for some reason, I just missed it, or I thought, oh, it's British, ooh, I don't know. But getting into Paddington, I am in love with this little bear, and I will be watching the movies very soon. I know that there's a 3rd movie coming out, and I cannot wait to see it, but I gotta watch the first 2, but yes. So if you have always wanted to read the Paddington series, this is the first book, A Bear Called Paddington, and just the back of it. The stories of Paddington Bear have delighted children all around the world for over 50 years. Paddington Bear had just traveled all the way from darkest Peru when the Brown family first met him in Paddington Station. Since then, their lives have never been quite the same, for ordinary things become extraordinary when Paddington is involved. I just can't talk anymore about it. I love the first book. I have the 2nd book in the bedroom. I cannot wait to read it. I just can't. And in fact, I already know, I think I told my boyfriend this, I wanted to collect all the Paddington books. And I found out that my boyfriend, had actually purchased a Paddington shirt for me. I was going to get it myself, but it was tea related. And I was like, oh, I'll save the money. And he just went ahead and did that. So that was really sweet of him. And so when the shirt comes, and it is coming all the way from England, I will be wearing it in future Viridian Tea House or future Paddington episodes or whatever. So yes, A Bear Called Paddington. If you're looking for a really good story that can be enjoyed by all ages about a bear who gets into some delightful scraps, and yet it just tickles your heart, and you just, it's like that burst of sunshine that you need when too many clouds are covering your mind and your head. Paddington is the way to go. And I read this in one sitting and I said, I feel so much better now because of Paddington. So many thanks to Michael Bond for creating such a cute and darling and precocious little bear called Paddington. Just love it. And many thanks to Denver Public Library for having this book too. So the second book had me cracking up. And again, I'm a late bloomer to this series, but I'd always heard about it and I thought, just go ahead and give it a shot. So I delved into the 12th book, and like Paddington, I want to collect these books as well. This is P.G. Wodehouse's Jeeves in the Offing. So the Wooster and Jeeves series. Oh my gosh, I love British comedy anyway. Like, does anybody else remember Are You Being Served? I used to stay up late and watch that on PBS. Absolutely love that show. Mr. Humphreys, are you free? I'm free. I love that show. I really, really do. So Jeeves in the Offing is typical British humor, but so much fun. And every time I turned the page, I thought, what else can go wrong? What else can go wrong? What else can go wrong? And Jeeves saves the day. So let's see here. Anyone who involves himself with Roberta Wickham is asking for trouble. So naturally, Bertie Wooster finds himself in just that situation when he goes to stay with his Aunt Dahlia at Brinkley Court. So much is obvious. Why celebrated loony doctor Sir Roderick Glossop, he was funny, should be there too, masquerading as a butler is less clear. As for Bertie's former headmaster, the ghastly Aubrey Upjohn, he was a stick in the mud, and the dreadful novelist, Mrs. Homer Cream, with her eccentric son Wilbert, their presence is entirely perplexing. Without Jeeves to help him solve these mysteries, Bertie nearly comes unstuck. It is only when that peerless manservant returns from his holiday that the resulting tangle of problems is sorted out to everyone's satisfaction, except Bertie's. Love the interaction between Wooster and Jeeves. Just one of the funniest books and one of the funniest series ever. And about the author. P.G. Wodehouse was born in Surrey in 1881 and educated at Dulwich College. While working in the London office of the Hong Kong and Shanghai Bank, he began to publish stories and articles. These were so well received that after 2 years, he decided to leave the bank and become a full-time writer. From 1906, he was a columnist on the Globe. In 1909, he settled in America, where he became well known through serializations of his work in the Saturday Evening Post. In 1914, he married Ethel Rowley. His first popular successes were school stories. From these, the characters of Smith and Uckridge evolve. At the same time, Wodehouse was writing song lyrics, plays, and musicals, collaborating with Jerome Kern, George Grossmith, and Guy Bolton, among others. But his real fame developed between the wars with the invention of 2 fictional worlds based on Blanding's Castle, which, by the way, I've never read the Blandings books, but I have seen the series, and it is hysterical. If you can find it on Prime Video, watch it. You will not be sorry. But Blanding's Castle and the Jeeves Wooster Menage. In a literary career spanning more than 70 years, he published over 90 books. Wodehouse spent much of his life on Long Island, becoming an American citizen in 1955. He was knighted in 1975 and died in the same year at the age of 93. But yes, I will be collecting these books, and I might be reviewing more of them in future Viridian Tea House videos, so stay tuned. And if you've seen the Jeeves and Wooster show, I really think there was, please let me know, because I'm trying to find it. I thought I could find it on Prime Video, but maybe I didn't type it in correctly. But yes, Jeeves and Wooster and Paddington Bear, absolute delights in British literature. Absolutely wonderful. And now finally, the one that made me go, what? Oh my God. You know, once again, many thanks to Denver Public Library for having such a wonderful collection of movies. A lot of them I've never heard of before, and I thought, you know, why don't I give it a shot? Many times than not, they've been a hit with me. And this one I watched yesterday and I loved it so much. I told my boyfriend about it and I'm like, I'm willing to watch it again so you can experience it. This is The Lesson. This is one of the best literary thrillers I have ever seen in quite some time. And so, about the movie, an aspiring young writer eagerly accepts a tutoring position at the family estate of his idol. Soon he realizes that he is ensnared in a web of family secrets, resentment, and retribution that threatens his future. A taut noir thriller. And the main character is Richard E. Grant, and there's Julie Delpy and Daryl McCormack, who was really, really good in this movie. But if you like good thrillers involving dysfunctional families, dysfunctional British families, and any movie that deals with snobby writers, literary writers, you need to watch The Lesson. This was a fantastic movie, and it gripped my attention so much. So, as y'all know, I'm really into knitting. And I was doing my current work in progress while I was watching the movie. And the movie got my attention so much, like I literally put down my knitting to focus on the movie. Normally, I can do both without any problems, but I had to put down my knitting to figure out what was going to happen in this movie. So if you can find a copy of The Lesson, I did see it on Prime Video. So if you have access to Prime Video, please rent this movie. It is a spicy literary thriller, just what Associated Press said. The Lesson, this fantastic thriller movie. So, getting to the tea, not a review today, but in keeping with all things British, I got myself some British Blend Kroger black tea. I do like a good British breakfast from time to time, and I think that's probably the only tea where I will use sugar. Mostly, I don't have any kind of sweetener, or I'll use honey, maybe stevia sometimes, but a good British breakfast, I will do just regular sugar. I can't help it. That's just one of my weaknesses. And normally I get Bigelow, but I decided to give Kroger a try. So this has no sweetener, but from me to you, a cuppa of some British breakfast. Wow, that's really good. So I actually made this some time ago and it was too hot for me to even hold. So I decided to let it cool down a little bit. But yeah, that is a proper good British breakfast tea. That really is very smooth, very mild. This is what I would enjoy with some scones, which I learned how to make scones last year, and now anytime I get the feeling, I'm like, I'm gonna make scones, I want to make scones. But yeah, this is a good way to start your day. I had to tell you something. Sometimes I will pay $20, $30, $40 for tea, and sometimes I'll pay $2.99 for tea that's really quite good. Yeah, Kroger British Blend black tea, excellent. So, cheerio. Yeah, that's good. And no sugar, but this is perfect. This is really a perfect cup of tea. So that leads me to our meditation. So make sure you have a glass of water or a cup of your favorite tea near you. Find yourself in a comfortable position in a quiet room where you won't be disturbed. We're just going to focus on our breathing for just a few seconds. We're in dealing with the chaos and all of the noise of the outside world. We're just going to shut it out for just a few seconds. So if you're ready, let's begin. And now let's end this breathing meditation with a deep breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. Slowly open your eyes or allow your eyes to come back into focus. And now let's enjoy a sip of our water and tea. Still delicious. So that's all that I have for today. Many thanks to all the people in the farmers markets and makers markets, the people of Denver Public Library, all the authors, past, present, and future, the people who make wonderful, delicious tea, and as always, all of y'all for watching these videos. I really do appreciate it. Thank you so, so much. So take care of yourself and each other. Raise your tea mug high with Snoopy on it. And just remember that to drink tea is to enjoy life. I will see y'all really soon. Bye for now, and have a fantastic weekend.